next book I'm going to read is Little Red Riding Hood. And this one's one of my favorites because I named the grandma in the story after my own grandma, Grandma Betty. And Grandma Betty is one of my favorite people. She always has been. Growing up, she would let me write my stories and draw my pictures on these giant stacks of computer paper, and she read every single one of the tales I used to write. And she still reads my stories today, so I don't know if you guys have anyone special in your lives like Grandma Betty, but those people are definitely one of a kind. So, Little Red Riding Hood. My name's Clementine. You can call me Clem. I'm a dachshund, but some people call me a wiener dog. Are you giggling right now? I thought we were friends. Speaking of friends, I'm here to tell you the story of my pal, Little Red Riding Hood. I really like Little Red's glasses. You know, when I was little, I actually purposefully failed my eye test because I thought glasses were cool. I didn't actually need them. Little Red got her nickname because she wore a red hoodie everywhere she went. Plus, she had red hair, so it was a good nickname. One cozy fall morning, Little Red and I decided to bake some blueberry muffins. We were visiting the pumpkin patch that day and wanted to eat a big breakfast before we left. Oh, I love blueberry muffins. We ate our warm muffins with cold glasses of milk, and I even scarfed down a second. My little legs need a lot of energy after all. The problem was we had some batter left over and very full bellies. My Grandma Betty would enjoy these muffins, Little Red said. Her granny gave the best ear scratches, so I was quick to agree. Oh, what's your favorite dessert to eat? I think mine might actually be chocolate chip cookies, as good as blueberry muffins are. Yes, let's bake a batch for her, I said. We'll have to be careful when we go to her house. There's a wolf in the forest, and he's hungry. We packaged up the muffins in a basket and set off for Grandma Betty's cottage. Uh-oh. Little Red knocked on the front door and called, Granny, Clem and I are here, and we've brought you yummy muffins. There was a long pause before a strangely high voice replied, How lovely, dearie. Bring them inside. That doesn't sound like your granny, I whispered. Well, who else would it be? Little Red replied. Grandma Betty's house was dark. Grandma Betty, where are you? I asked. We can hardly see a thing. I'm going to turn on a light. Please don't turn on any lights. I'm in bed, dearies. I have a terrible headache, she said before clearing her throat, and an awful cold. It's why my voice sounds so different. Poor Grandma Betty. Little Red opened the door, and we went to visit with her. What do you guys think? Doesn't look like Grandma Betty, does it? Are you contagious? I asked, keeping my distance. Little Red frowned at me and went to her granny's side. "Granny, what big ears you have!" she exclaimed, squinting in the darkness. "And what large eyes! What sort of cold do you have anyway?" "All the better to see and hear you with, my precious," she smiled, licking her lips. Meanwhile, my nose was twitching like crazy. "P.U." I held my nose. "It smells like a stinky dog in here." "Clem, don't be rude," Little Red scolded me. Do you have any friends like Clementine who always say what's on their mind? But my nose doesn't lie. Suddenly suspicious, I scampered over to the nearest lamp and pulled on its cord. I let out a howl and Little Red screamed. It was not Grandma Betty in the bed, but the wolf dressed in her pajamas. Wouldn't this be so scary? "Run!" I shouted. We dashed for the police department. "Don't worry, I'll send my pack to your granny straight away," Sheriff Parker told us. "You girls were lucky to get away. The wolf has been hiding in houses so he can eat people." We watched as a dozen German shepherds sprinted toward the cottage. Ooh, those looked like tough dogs, huh? Luckily, they arrived just as the wolf was climbing out of a window. "Not so fast, huh?" "Not so fast. You're under arrest," they declared, putting handcuffs on his paws. "Now, what have you done with Grandma Betty?" Much to everyone's relief, Grandma Betty had been vacationing in Arizona. "I'm really enjoying myself," she told Little Red over the phone. "I've been swimming and sewing quilts. I even visited the Grand Canyon yesterday." Wow. So Grandma Betty has just been out of town this whole time. Thank goodness. Little Red sighed. "I'm so relieved. You're okay then, Granny?" "I'm perfectly fine," she said. "Only a little sunburned." Well, thank you all for reading with me today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And I hope you have a great rest of your days.